Hello, my true crime lovelies. How are you? I hope you are well. I hope you are as lovely in life as you are in my mind. I did a collab earlier with Joe Schmo, Florida PI Sam, and Child TV Live. We went over the digital data in Lori Daybell's trial. Oh, Sugar Bear took my necklace off. I forgot. We went over the digital data in Lori Daybell's Arizona trial, the Brandon Boudreaux version, the attempted murder. And it reminded me that I never redid my verdict video. That was the day StreamYard went down because of the Google Cloud issue. So I wanted to redo that. Oh my God, I'm going to link that video. I had so much fun. I felt like a real YouTuber. We're discussing all the data. Yeah, it was fun. So I just want to close out my playlist for Lori Vallow Daybell or Lori Noreen Daybell, L&D, Lying and Deceiving. So the verdict, we definitely need the verdict in for that. But first, I want to thank the members. I am going to run the intro. Mind your ears. It's crazy. Let me turn this back up. It's crazy how much Sugar Bear has changed just like in the last couple of months. Well, the last year, right? Because the channel's a year old. He's 2. But like just I feel anyway, you guys can see it. Okay, here we go with the verdict. Joe Schmo was saying, I think it was something like 10 minutes, 12 minutes or something when he went back and looked at it that it actually took. Because I think most of us who weren't there, because he was there in person for the trial, we were saying under 30. But it sounds like it was even tighter than that. But I think it was Trina Kay's closing. That timeline was so tight and specific. And I think one, she underscored it because the witnesses did go out of order, right? So she wanted to make sure everyone understood. I mean, I think the case was really well laid out, irrespective of it being out of order, but she left nothing to chance and, came home with the winner. All right, so let's hear it. Lori's got her hand on the mic button. She's talking to her counsel, probably pretending not to freak out because, girl, you know it ain't good when they come back in 12, 15 minutes.
Make sure my phone was off. All right, the jury.
I see Kay Woodcock. I see Brandon. I see his wife. I've got it sped up, I think 1.25. Jury's
all right.
name.
Jury is present. Everyone can be seated. We have 4 persons. Has the jury reached a verdict?
Yes.
Will you hand the verdict to my courtroom assistant? All right, the clerk will read and record the verdict.
In the Superior Court of the State of Arizona, in and for the County of Maricopa, State of Arizona versus Lori Daybell, CR 2022-001242-001. Verdict count 1. We, the jury, duly impaneled and sworn in the above entitled action upon our oaths, do find the defendant, Lori Daybell, as to the crime of count 1, conspiracy to commit first-degree murder occurring on or about October 2nd, 2019, as follows. Guilty. Signed, 4-person. Are these your true verdicts, so say you one and all?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, on the court's own motion, I'll ask the clerk to poll the jury.
Juror number 1, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 2, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 4, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 5, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 6, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 8, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 9, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 11, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 12, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Increased blink rate. She didn't flinch. I can't tell if she's blushing or not because I did not see the side of her face before. I know there's some previous times where she had on a lot of like applied blush, the makeup kind, but she seems flushed. Her hair looks fine to me. Some of you guys who were there said it looked like a bird's nest, which, oh my God. Maybe it's over teased in this area, but the way she's processing it is odd to me because she's trying to be restrained, but her eyes are blinking like crazy. And that's stuff we're not aware of. Like I edited my Delapine, my dear Gunthal, and I could see like the lip compression I was doing because I was actually trying to hold things back, but it wasn't a conscious thing. So she's not consciously controlling that blinking, but she's very much trying to like control her body.
Juror number 13, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 14, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
Juror number 15, is this your true verdict?
Yes.
All right, members of the jury, I'm going to excuse you at this time. I have one more legal issue I need to resolve before you can be released from the admonition. So please just hang tight in the jury room for what's hopefully a few minutes, and then we will let you know if we need your further service. So please retire to the jury room, and please, the admonition still applies.
All rise to the jury.
She's got to want a hug. I would want a hug. Well, I wouldn't be killing people or trying to, but you know what I mean? Just
Please
as
be
a
seated. The
human.
jury is no longer present. And aggravation phase, we're prepared to proceed with. I'll ask the defendant. Yesterday, you indicated you didn't want to proceed with that
Brandon.
and you would rather admit those aggravators. Is that still your desire?
I will still stipulate, Your Honor, even though I object to having an aggravator phase at all.
Like, that has nothing to do with the judge. There's no need to say that the judge is not in charge of whether there's an aggravator phase in the state. Like that, ma'am.
Okay, so the state has alleged this is a dangerous offense. Do you understand? And the state has also alleged that this particular crime that you've been found guilty of involved the use or of an accomplice. Is that the extent of the aggravators that you want to prove up?
To the jury, yes, that's all we were going to ask to do.
Right. So, Ms. Daybell, do you understand you have the right to have a jury decide whether or not those aggravators are proven beyond a reasonable doubt?
I do understand that.
And do you understand?
Okay, I'm going to talk about her hair. I'm not normally obsessed with people's hair, but the cameraman is not helping. I also want to say, because it happens to me at the nape of my neck, I hold a lot of heat. And so I have naturally curly hair, obviously. It does strange things. Now, I don't think Lori has naturally curly hair, but she has wavy hair, and she has a shit ton more hair than I have. So it may be the heat coming out from the nape of her neck making it look that way. I kind of feel like it's unfair that the cameraman is focused on the back of her head. Maybe they're trying to get her to turn side by side. They don't want to miss that, but I think she kind of knows that.
Understand that by admitting those aggravators or stipulating to them that you'd be waiving your right to have a jury do that?
Correct.
Has anyone forced you or threatened you in any way to get you to waive that right to have a jury decide those two issues?
No.
Has anyone promised you anything to get you to waive that right to have a jury decide those two factors?
No.
Are you waiving those factors of your own free will?
Yes.
The court finds and do you in fact stipulate that this was a dangerous offense?
I do stipulate to that fact.
And do you also stipulate that this particular crime would have involved did involve the use of a presence or use of an accomplice?
I will stipulate to that fact as well.
The court.
That impacts Melanie's, in my opinion, because there's an open investigation. I was going to say open charges. She hasn't been charged. There's an open investigation. And by her stipulating that there had to be an accomplice, ding, 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 Melanie fits that bill. Alex is dead. But it's also weird because the state would have to prove it beyond a reasonable doubt. But I think she is so worried about like the Kay Woodcocks and the victim, Brandon Boudreaux, making statements in open court where she would have to face it, that she's willing to forego that. We need an Arizona attorney because they have these aggravators, right? Does that mean she's waiving her appeal de facto because she's stipulated to a violent crime with accomplices, that the state doesn't have to prove it? She agrees. Do you know what I mean? Or is it because it's an aggravator and not the underlying offense? I've been researching it. I'm busy. I didn't find it. I'm normally good about, but this is a little more nuanced. So I'm just curious, like, does that mean she can't appeal? Is she aware of that? Did she ask her advisory council? We talked about that on the panel earlier, and we all kind of, well, Sam didn't watch the trial, so she didn't have an opinion about it, but we were all kind of the mind of like, they were there. It's not the same as standby counsel. They do actually give advice. However, they don't give unsolicited advice, which, God, if all moms followed that, like, for fellow moms, like, wait till I ask you.
Finds those to be knowingly, voluntarily, intelligently entered into stipulation, the court will find that those do exist as a legal determination.
I do know for a fact by her stipulating he can give the max of whatever that is, because had the state not proved it, it's a lower sentence. I think her range is like 20 to life. Don't quote me on that. But he can throw the book at her. Not that she cares, that because she's already doing multiple life sentences. But if for some reason her appeal has sway in Idaho, and that's dismissed, not likely, but you know what I'm saying, for the sake of argument, she could get more life sentences, like, because now she's having sentencing for both the Charles Vallow murder conviction and the Brandon Boudreaux attempted murder conspiracy to commit. She'll be sentenced at the same time. So Kay and all those guys are going to get to talk. I'm looking forward to Brandon's speech, like, because what he said out on the courthouse steps was so eloquent and gracious. I just feel like that's what we're going to get from him at the sentencing. And I'm excited to hear what Kay will say, because she's a wild card. Like, she teared up before she spoke. And so Brandon started. I mean, we did watch it together, but I don't think, did we? I don't think so. That was the whole StreamYard thing. But she started tearing up. He was going to let her speak first, being the gentleman that he is, and she started tearing up, and so she turned around, he rubbed her back, and he started speaking and saying, you know, we're all united. And then once she composed herself, she interjected. She said, I'm ready now. And then she was like, this is for my brother Jerry. We got the bitch again. And then we go right back to this very like solemn, gracious, prepared speech from Brandon. So I'm curious to see, like, I just like her sass. She tells it like it is. So I'm looking forward to what she has to say at sentencing. But so Lori didn't avoid anything. Maybe she didn't want to hear it twice, said it twice, just as nice. I don't, her logic is odd.
I'll order a pre-sentence report be prepared on both cases.
Can I waive a pre-sentence report and try to move up sentencing?
No.
No, we're going to have one prepared.
It'll include all
Let me
her
ask the
criminal
state,
history.
as far as the state's
It'll be the foundation for what his sentencing is. So I think he's lining up his ducks in anticipation of appeal. If it is appeal eligible, I just think he's lining up his ducks for his decision not to be questioned, especially from the queen of, you're biased.
presentation and how many people might speak at sentencing. Do you have an estimated time?
Your Honor, 1 second.
This reminds me of when Georgia Kaplan had to ask after the sentencing for Charlie, or after the
Your
conviction
Honor,
of Charlie.
because we are sentencing both cases together at the same time, to be safe, if we could block off a couple hours, because there are obviously next of kin and victims from both cases. It
All
may
right.
be less than that, but I think to be safe, we could do that.
All
right, this
afternoon.
courtroom is going to be taken over by Judge Myers in a week and a half, but he is out the whole week of July 28th. So this courtroom would be vacant. We could use this courtroom.
Okay.
So I can do it pretty much any day.
Lori said that's a long
That'll be-
time.
Second, I think that.
Does it have to be within 30 days?
She asked.
Your Honor,
if
is that
it
more
had
than
to
30
be-
days? Doesn't it have to be within 30 days?
It is more than 30 days.
He didn't answer the second question.
I said it's like try to past 30 days, but they can find us trying.
Yeah, I think because we do have people flying in, they would prefer a Friday. I don't know if August 1st.
I can also do it Friday, July 25th.
Lori's pissed.
Just say
I
25th.
know that's close on a couple of their schedules. Let me just make sure they're able to fly here.
Does Brandon not live in Arizona?
Got it, the 25th of July would also work.
All right. Does the defendant want to be heard on a sentencing date?
So this she is being obtuse on purpose because she's over there whispering about the sentencing date and the 30 days, but then she pretends she doesn't understand what it means to be heard about the sentencing date. So she does this little pedantic thing. She just likes to bicker with the judge, in my opinion.
Do I want to be heard?
On a sentencing date? Yep.
Do I want to speak on sentencing day?
No,
Is that what you're
I
asking me?
Do you want to be heard on what
The
date?
timing?
Yeah, what date I should
On the
set this for.
date.
Yes, I would like it to be within 30 days if possible.
Why?
The soonest available is July 25th. I'll set it from 9 a.m. to noon, just to be safe, on July 25th in this same courtroom. Anything else?
Can you do anything about the timing of me being transported after that?
Actually, I would like the county attorney and/or the sheriff's office. I don't know if I need to make specific orders on the record regarding transferring back to Idaho. I don't know what the interstate agreement was on having her transported here.
It was immediately after, but I think they have up to 30 days to pick me up.
So he clearly said from the sheriff's office or the attorney's office, it wasn't immediately after. And I think we can learn a little bit because randomly Barry Morphew was arrested in Gilbert, Arizona, that when she said you will be like, if you don't waive, what did she say? Something, there was a 30 days in there. Like he would have to stay there. Oh, if he didn't waive extradition and contested it. And so then they'd have like, I think she said 30 to 60. So I think she's confusing it. It's like, girl, when they're done with you, like done, sentenced, everything, then that triggers the 30 days, not 30 days from conviction. Because how could that be? Like, what if they couldn't get your, I mean, they wouldn't take that long, but you know what I mean? If they couldn't get your sentencing for 60 days and then you'll be back in Idaho and the judge will have an empty courtroom with nobody to sentence, like, pick it up.
That's why I wanted the sentencing to be moved up because they still have 30 days after that.
Okay.
If there's
so
something you can do about that.
I guess what I'm
So she realizes 30 days after that, but she's forcing in the other 30 days, right? She's forcing in, like, have this done within 30 days so that the 30 days for transport starts right away. I don't know why, other than a big FU to the judge, because people were like, oh, because Chad is there. Well, can't they talk in the portal? Like, didn't they have a thing? They can be anywhere together. And then about the heat, is there not AC there? I know some people said something about tents, but I just don't see, like, she's like the highest level of confinement, close management. I don't think they put them in tents, like when they just run off.
requesting from any party, either side or the sheriff's office, is what particular language people are looking for in order to accomplish that transfer.
I will reach out to our extraditions.
All right. So we will be at recess. All right. Thank you.
Yeah, I think it was just a big FU to the judge. Like, I want to get out of here so I don't have to be here with you anymore. Hurry up and get this over with. I'm busy and important. Look, she couldn't get out of that room fast enough. Granted, it's sped up. But what happens? Like, her face is red there. She's trying to smile. She's talking to the bailiff. Girl, they don't like you. They know you killed your babies. Knock it off. She did look red there, right, on the way out. Like, it's weird. Oh, I just saw Lauren from Hidden True Crime in there. It's weird to me. It's like, just as a human being, wouldn't you need a hug after that? Like, you lost, you're convicted, you were pretending you weren't guilty. Do you just go back and cry on your bunk, or she doesn't have a bunk, but whatever. Do you know what I mean? So detached from reality. So yeah, I'm looking forward to Melanie Pulowski being brought up on charges. I think it's coming. I have to look up where everybody is living, because Trina K went back to ask Brandon something and then came to the judge about booking travel. I thought he was still in Arizona, but maybe he's not. Did Melanie move back to Arizona because she was in Idaho? How are they doing the child sharing? Like, what's that parenting plan look like? I just think the children would be better off without their mom. I don't say that lightly, but you guys know I'm a mama bear. And I just think, like, she plotted against him. And then there's a couple of videos that are on my list to get through. No promises as to when, where she's outside, like, trying to have him arrested and have the police give the children to her. And the new husband was down with it. These were when Alex was alive, but I don't know how soon she married the new husband. Some of you guys were telling me how soon Brandon married his new wife. I don't know if that's like a religion thing, not just a Mormon thing. My sister, one of my older sisters, is super religious, and her daughter got married at like 22, which mainly because they couldn't have sex. I think that was like the impetus for it, but what do I know? Meaning they couldn't have it until marriage. Like, I'm not the marrying kind, so I shouldn't opine on this, but like, shouldn't you get to know each other? Like, beyond if you put the ketchup in the fridge or not? Just, Anyway, that has nothing to do with Lori. I'm just going on, rambling like the old lady I am. But I feel like part of Lori's rush to get out is just like, she doesn't want anymore. Like, she's basically telling the judge, I'm done with you. You're biased ass. Just hurry up and get me home. Although I feel like she kind of bowed down when she was like, is there anything you can do to get me back faster? Like, oh, now you need a favor from him. You found your act right. And he was like, nope. So, and then he was like, I wasn't involved in extradition. Can somebody tell me how all that works? And so Trina K is going to hook him up. But we'll see. Why are you in a rush, girl? It's from one cell to the next. I get it. Prison is supposed to be like more cushiony than jail, but isn't it all like not the Four Seasons? Oh, it's not Hawaii, that's for sure. All right. I'm delirious. I'm tired. I'll talk to you guys later. Toodles.